Well, it sounds a little odd to say, but it's tax time. July 15th is Wednesday, and we know a lot of people have already done theirs, but we always know there are procrastinators out there. But get this, CPA Tom Wheelwright says for some of those folks who put it off, you could actually end up getting more deductions. So, Tom, that is always good news to hear anytime we can add to those deductions. We thank you very much for joining us this morning, and let's get to that. What else can we deduct?
Well, that's awesome. So first of all, remember, even though this is the deadline, there's an extension you can get all the way till October 15th. So if you're missing any deductions, like your home office, like travel, like meals, all of these things that you may have forgotten are deductible, and you want to take the time to make sure your tax return reflects all your deductions.
All right. We know last year there was a transition to the new tax code. There were some kinks that had to be worked out. Have we worked them all out this year, and will we see some bigger deductions this time around?
Well, we worked them out, and then we've added more deductions. So the CARES Act added a lot more tax benefits to the tax law, and some of these apply to 2019. So make sure you sit down with your CPA to go through those new deductions from the CARES Act.
So when you talk about the CARES Act, let's dive specifically into that, because that was launched due to COVID-19, but how can we get that on deductions for 2018?
Well, some of the things in the CARES Act actually apply to 2019. So for example, if you made tenant improvements to your office space, if you have a loss that you had in 2019, in 18, you can either carry it forward to 19 or you can carry it back. So there are things that they actually made some retroactive adjustments for us.
What about for those who owe on their taxes? What do these extensions do for them?
Well, they actually can make it a little more difficult, because not only do you owe for 2019 on Wednesday, you also owe the first two estimated payments for 2020. So you could owe 3 payments all at the same time. So you want to make sure that you're paid in, because if you're not, you're going to have penalties.
So you can't get an extension on that?
You cannot get an extension on payment, only on filing. But make sure you file that extension on filing, else you're going to have bigger penalties on the payment.
For people out there who miss the deadline and don't file an extension, however, the federal government owes them at the end of the day, does that give them a little more leeway?
It does. There's actually no penalty for not filing, and there's no penalty for not paying if you don't owe any money.
All right. Let's talk about state taxes here, because they're important as well. Was the deadline extended for that? And can you also file an extension for state taxes?
And in Arizona, your federal extension counts for your state extension. So you file federal, the Arizona is automatically filed. But remember, you also have to pay your Arizona payment before Wednesday.
Uncle Sam always wants his money on time. All right.
That's right.
Tom, we thank you very much for taking the time this morning. And just a good reminder out there, Wednesday, July 15th, that is the deadline. Thanks, buddy.